Hey everybody, it's One Cast One Fish, and today we're going in depth with how to mount your FISHFINDER transducer inside the hull of your kayak. When it comes to mounting your transducer inside the hull of your kayak, the waters get kind of muddy with myths, misconceptions, and misunderstandings that I hope we can clear up by the end of this video. I'm going to discuss how to properly mount your transducer inside the hull of your kayak, go over some of the common mistakes that are made that lead to poor image quality with an in-hull transducer mount, and discuss which features work and don't work when mounting your transducer inside the hull of your kayak. Mounting your transducer inside the hull of your kayak is super simple. All you need is your FISHFINDER transducer and a 1-pound block of duct seal. The first thing I'm going to do is break my duct seal in half. The amount of duct seal you use is going to be dependent on the size of your transducer. Now I'm going to take that duct seal that I broke off and roll it up into a ball. We're going to place that ball inside the hull of the kayak in the position where we want to mount our transducer. Now use your hands to spread the duct seal into a pancake about 1 inch thick. Now press your transducer about a 1/2 inch into the duct seal. And the final step is to route your transducer wire back to your FISHFINDER. That didn't seem too difficult, right? So now I'm going to take you in depth, show you how to mount that transducer inside the hull of your kayak, along with the common mistakes that are made that lead to poor image quality or no return images at all. You can mount your transducer anywhere inside the hull of your kayak, though my preferred mounting points are either in the front or the rear. The only caveat when determining the location inside the hull of your kayak to mount your transducer is that transducer must be mounted below the water line. As you can see from this picture, the area shaded in green is below the water line. It's acceptable to mount your transducer anywhere within this region below the water line. However, as you can see, the area shaded in red is above the water line. If you were to mount your transducer anywhere in this region above the water line, your FISHFINDER return images would be extremely poor quality or no image at all. Kayak hulls can be grouped into 4 general shapes: a rounded bottom, a V-shaped bottom, flat bottoms, or a pontoon bottom. Looking at a kayak with a rounded hull, the image on the left shows the correct way to use the duct seal. Notice the duct seal is pressed firmly into the shape of the kayak hull, leaving no air gaps or voids. The duct seal mounting surface is also flat and about 1 inch thick. The image on the right is incorrect, as the duct seal is not pressed into the shape of the kayak hull, and you can see an obvious air gap or void that's been formed between the duct seal and the kayak hull. This will result in a poor sonar image or no image at all. Looking at a V-shaped kayak hull, the image on the left shows the correct way to use the duct seal. Notice that the duct seal is pressed firmly into the shape of the kayak's hull, leaving no air gaps or voids. The duct seal mounting surface is also flat and about 1 inch thick. Now, depending on how deep the V is in your kayak hull, you may need more duct seal to completely fill in the void. The image on the right is incorrect, as the duct seal is not pressed into the shape of the kayak's hull. An air gap and void has formed between the duct seal and the kayak hull, and this will result in a poor sonar image or no image at all. One of the easiest kayak hulls to mount your transducer inside of is a flat kayak hull. And that's because the relatively flat surface inside the kayak is an ideal mounting point for your duct seal and transducer. Again, when placing your duct seal, be sure to press it firmly into the kayak hull, being sure to leave no air gaps or voids. The duct seal mounting surface should also be flat and about 1 inch thick. In a kayak with a pontoon-shaped hull, the image on the left shows the correct way to use the duct seal. Notice that the duct seal is pressed firmly into the shape of the kayak hull, leaving no air gaps or voids. The duct seal mounting surface is also flat and about 1 inch thick. When mounting your transducer inside a pontoon-style kayak hull, you can either choose the left or the right side of the hull. As you can see, the image on the right is incorrect, as the duct seal is not pressed into the kayak hull, and an air gap or void has been formed between the duct seal and the kayak hull. This will result in poor sonar image or no image at all. Now I'm going to show you how to press the transducer into the duct seal inside your kayak hull. You're going to want to firmly press your transducer into the duct seal about halfway. When pressing your transducer into the duct seal, it's very important that you avoid creating any air gaps or voids between the transducer and the duct seal. as this will result in poor sonar image quality or no returns at all. Another thing to remember when pressing the transducer into the duct seal is that the transducer must be level. This will ensure that your sonar cone is vertical and giving you the most accurate images and feedback for your sonar returns. If your transducer is not level, your sonar cone could be off to the left, right, front, or rear of your kayak. This can result in inaccurate readings, distortion, and overall poor performance from your sonar. As I said earlier, there's going to be a few features that don't work or function properly when mounting the transducer inside the hull of your kayak that you should be aware of. Water temperature. Since the transducer is mounted inside the hull and not directly in the water temperature reading is going to be inaccurate. Side imaging. Due to the nature of the side imaging beams, inside the hull mounts normally do not work. Down imaging. It works for me without any issues, and it works for many others I know without issues as well. However, in very rare cases, people have had issues with it not working properly when mounting inside the hull of a kayak. The biggest keys to a successful in-hull transducer mount is to make sure that you take your time, avoid air gaps between your duct seal and your kayak hull, avoid air gaps and voids between your transducer and your duct seal, and ensure that your transducer is mounted level. If you follow these simple steps and tips, you'll avoid the common mistakes that lead to poor image quality, and you'll have a successful transducer mount inside the hull of your kayak. I hope you found this video useful, and as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask down in the comments section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your friends, and we'll see you next time on the water.